Hello, and welcome to another episode of Unboxing with Paul. And today, I'm excited to bring you Ghostek's Iron Armor case for the Galaxy A12. Let's take a look at it. Don't get tired of Ghostek's packaging because it calls out my name, holographic name lettering, transparent window, a very nice magnetic clasp that holds the whole thing together. Very nice packaging. Let's go ahead and get into it. What do we get? Always in the box, a very nice Ghostek matte black sticker that helped build some of that brand loyalty. And this case can be currently found on Ghostek's website for $24.98, which is very nice. I'm gonna show you why that's very nice. So in the box, we got not only a case, we also got a tempered glass screen protector. I just want to take a second and look at it, make sure that it's free of blemishes. And yes, it looks corner looks a little spotty, but it looks good overall. Let's go ahead and put it aside. Now, again, this is the Iron Armor series of Ghostek cases. And in particular, what that means is a few things. We have a belt clip that comes with the case. We have a kickstand that comes with the case as well. That is going to allow us to be able to stand up our phone in landscape mode, as well as be able to stand it up vertically. Nice. And we also have a slot for a credit or a debit card. Single slot, which we're going to be able to demonstrate on later. Now, typically with Iron Armor cases, what you have is a thermoplastic polyurethane construction on the inside to be able to be impact absorbent, and so that your phone doesn't rattle around when it gets impacted. And the back is going to be a black polycarbonate meant to be more abrasion resistant and meant to provide more of a hard shell on the outside for your device. And without further ado, let's go ahead and pop our phone in there and see how it fits. Okay, and just immediately, I have to feeling case, a very nice feeling phone. I can just appreciate that our camera bump is very, very aggressive. Our camera is well tucked away in there. I'd say that's a solid 0.6 centimeters that thing is tucked away in there. In addition to that, not just the back, but also the front, it has a very nice and aggressive lip. I'd say that's a 2mm lip going all the way around. That is going to protect your phone in case it happens to fall face first. Your screen is not going to get damaged as much if it were to fall without a case. If we look over at the top of the phone, we can appreciate there is a pinhole microphone cutout, so that is not being obstructed. And while we're at the top, can we also appreciate the fact that we have a nice cutout for our speaker /earpiece that is also not going to be obstructed. And if we look over on the right side of the phone, we have our volume down and volume up buttons that not only are they still very accessible, still very clicky, but they're labeled, right? I mean, you don't really need that, because that down is, volume down and up is volume up, but still very nice attention to detail and still very nice to have. And if we keep going further along there, we're going to see that our fingerprint scanner /power button is not being obstructed because we have a huge cutout right around it that is going to provide ample access for our fingerprint. And if we keep going further down, we also see a little a loop so that we can insert a lanyard in case that's your thing, as if it were 2015 all over again. And if we look at the bottom of the case, we can see a cutout for our speakers, a cutout for our USB-C port, one more cutout for another pinhole microphone, and another cutout for our headphone jack, which is still very, very nice to have. Now, another good thing that I really like about these Iron Armor cases is that belt clip that comes with it. So in addition to you having your phone be very well protected, you also have a secondary redundant kickstand on the belt clip where you can display your phone like so. So I know I have it backwards, but where you can display your phone like so. I'm a fan of seeing redundancy like this, as if your kickstand on the back were to break, you always have that other one. Again, for redundancy, very, very nice. I am a fan of the belt clips, as if you're someone that works particularly, in industrial jobs, someone that works outside or has any other sort of heavy duty job, it's nice to have a belt clip because it keeps your phone accessible while keeping it out of harm's way. And again, it's just one more layer of protection that I'm definitely very, very happy to have. This is confidence fire. I can definitely feel like, I can chuck this and it'll be okay. Like it might have fallen apart, but let's go ahead and look at the damage. Okay, and we can see that it did not fall apart. The only thing that happened was that the kickstand flew open. And you guys already know that I'm a huge, huge fan of being able to drop these against the ground and see what kind of carnage ensues. You see that? Okay, yeah. So we're gonna drop this from about this height. You guys already know the carnage that happens. I like to see these fail because I'm gonna be using these in the real world. I'm gonna be using these in day-to-day life. And I don't like when companies promise that stuff, is drop tested to so many feet. They say that their stuff is made of this material and that it's military grade and whatnot, but that's just a bunch of hogwash, because we don't live in an ideal world, right? We don't live in the lab. We live in everyday life where unforeseen scenarios might happen, where your phone might take a beating or your phone might be dropped from an unforeseen height. And as you guys saw, this wasn't too high. And as you guys can see, we're now missing a kickstand, right? So this isn't bad necessarily. It's just, it means that the kickstand here is not meant to take very much abuse, right? And I think that's why we have a redundant kickstand in our belt clip, in case that happens. And we saw that broke just after 3 drops. Let's see how many drops it takes to break this one. And then typically, I like to give them 6 drops, because I've seen them break usually after the, number 3, number 4 is when you'll really get them to break. And if they can manage to survive 6 drops, then you're probably okay. And it tends to be a good product, right? So that was 2. Let's keep going. Where are we at for maximum carnage? Here we go. Okay, that was 3. Let's gonna keep dropping it. Okay, 4. We're still looking okay, a little bit bent. 5. Oh, there we go. See, this is what I wanted to see. I wanted to see it fail, right? So it looks like it bent sideways, but oh yeah, that's gone. Is it? Is it though? Yeah, I think that's gone. Okay, so yeah, I think this has definitely suffered some catastrophic damage. Okay, so our kickstand finally, came apart. And again, that's what I like to see. I'd rather see something bend, because that means that it flexed, right? It has the structural integrity to absorb impact and to be able to flex and bend. However, again, we seem to have reached the breaking point with this kickstand. It took 5 drops. So let's go ahead and finish it off with the 6th one. And again, it still remains functional as a kickstand, right? Albeit not a very good one, but it still works as a kickstand and it managed to survive, right? Not very well, but it survived nonetheless. So in conclusion, a very good case, especially for the $24.99 that you are paying for this. You get a case, you get a belt clip, you get a kickstand, you get another kickstand, and you get a screen protector, and you get a slot for your credit card, which I almost forgot. Let's see what that slot for that credit card feels like. Okay, so then let's go ahead and see what our credit card fits like once we put it in there. So more than anything, I'd probably stick my ID in here rather than a credit card, as most of us have, digital wallets. But again, once the credit card is in there, this is one of my complaints. It's a little bit loose. I wouldn't go around, being carefree with my ID inside of my phone case, but on the same token, you don't want it to be so hard that it's impossible to get out of. So that's a very fine line to carry. But nonetheless, good job, Ghostek. I'm a fan of this case. I just noticed this after wrapping up the shooting, but real quick, the reason why it's a little bit easier for your credit card or your ID, for that matter, to be able to slip out is because if you happen to have it in the belt clip like you're supposed to, and not carrying around all willy-nilly like a hooligan like I did, it won't come out because it is being held in place by the belt clip. You see? However, slip it out, falls right out. Go ahead and let me know in the comments, what are your thoughts on Ghostek? Do you like them as a company? Have you given them a chance? Do you think the case could have fared a little bit better? Have you seen other cases fare a lot better? Or what are some cases that have impressed you with their durability? Go ahead and let me know in the comments. Who knows? I might test them out next. And as always, thanks for watching.